into the water, let your mouth go sick and dry. Put your life into your death now, let them sing till you die.
Yeah, okay. Hold the phone. What is good, my friends? That even the very beginning of that was dope. I'm gonna go to here. I liked all the layers there when he was singing right at the start. It was really creepy. I like this bit.
Put your hands into the water, let your mouth go sick and dry. Put your life into your death now, let them sing till you die.
Okay, hold the phone. 10, 15. We're going 15. We're going 15. There's something vastly different but very familiar about this song so far. And I'm not sure quite what it is. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the familiarity comes from it being Slipknot, and you've got Corey's like, he's almost like a rapper, isn't he? He's like a really screamy metal rapper. It's proper weird. He's always had that flow and that, you know what I'm saying? He's so good at it as well. I need to contain myself. It's been a couple days since this came out. I think it's like 3-4 days old now at the time of me sitting here recording this, and I've been chomping at the bit to get here. Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. There's like like I say, it's different but familiar, and I can't quite figure it out, you know what I mean? We're only a quarter of the way through, so I mean, we've got plenty to come yet. I came back 15, innit? I did come back 15. We're gonna go back into what I assume is the chorus, and I'm trying to take in as many of the lyrics as possible. So I'm really trying, but you know me. You know me. I like Corey's mask at the minute as well. Ooh. There's Mick. Okay, let me pause it a second. I'm so sorry. I was gonna say I've not seen Mick at all, and it was really cool to have Craig. Like, he normally sits off in the corner somewhere, you know what I mean, making his little noises on his sampler or his keyboard or whatever. Excuse me. But right then he was like front and center, you know what I mean, holding his thing. That was cool to see. It was really cool to see. He never gets pulled in, you know what I mean? Even in the music videos, it's like, oh, there's Craig. Oh, he's gone. So that was really cool. And it feels like I've just seen Mick for the first time. I've been like, are there people missing in this song or what? What's kicking off? Excuse me. I was gonna say as well, I saw this post. I'm loving, like I just said, I love Corey's mask at the minute. It looks so super creepy. But what Sid's doing at the minute, having like the mask under the mask, you know what I mean? And he sits his face, like sort of at the front of his like of all his decks and that, and it's moving on its own and stuff. And he's got that weird like bug-looking robot thing underneath. I love what they're doing with their stuff so far. I really do. Like at the minute, not so far. I meant at the minute. Like their masks, their whole attitude seems to be like boosted somehow. Like Slipknot have always been one of those bands that's like, we're the shit and we know it, but we're not arrogant and cocky about it. We're just gonna show you why. They've got like a boost to that. It feels like lately. Like there's a whole different injection of something in the band. And I love it. I love it. I love the energy that I'm getting. You look anywhere, like Instagram, like YouTube, you feel the vibe. You know what I mean? You feel the heat coming off of Slipknot right now. It's mental. From a band as well that's been around for so long, and they're still like, you know what I mean? Right at the top. Absolutely love it. They're my favourite band. What can I say? What can I say? And the whole, is anybody like me? The whole Joey versus Jay thing. I wasn't really interested in all that. Like, it's not about the versus aspect. You know what I mean? Jay's a great drummer. Joey, my favourite drummer of all time. He's the reason I play the drums. But it was never like, oh, what? No, Joey's gone like Jay's here. I'm not sure. No, it's Slipknot, bro. Like, Slipknot have obviously chosen him because he's a sick drummer. And you know what I mean? Like, Chris leaving and all that stuff. It doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? I'll always love the OG members of Slipknot. And RIP to the homies. But it's Slipknot. The essence is still there. The music they make still hits me in the same way as it did in 99, 2000, you know, back in the day. So, sorry for that ramble. Let's crack on, shall we? How skinny makers do. Ooh. Damn. Tell me that's not the end. There's more stuff, right? Okay, we're gonna watch this little outro bit. Because, you know what I mean? If any Nightwish fans are here, I'm gonna get told off if I stop it. You know from last time. See, okay. That one, I could have got away with pausing. It's so pretty though, still. Musically, it's still really pretty. Alright, we're pausing. That was good. That was good. That was pretty much exactly what I expected. Honestly. Like I said, it was proper different. I'm a little bit rusty on newer Slipknot stuff, to be honest with you. The last... What was the last... With the Devil and I and stuff on it. That was really like... The last time I really focused on Slipknot, and I know you know this is sort of the next wave of all that stuff. So, like I say, it's different to me. But in my school, when I think of in my brain, when I think of Slipknot, I think of like the first two albums, maybe the third. Like that to me is like the foundation of this band. Maybe the third, you know. But it like I said, it was totally different. But it still had that familiar Slipknot vibe. It's like, as soon as I hear Corey's voice, it just, you know what I mean? He has his Stone Sour voice and he has his Slipknot voice. There's like a slight difference between them somehow. I know it's the same dude and he uses all the same techniques and you know what I mean, but he applies it all differently to the music that's underneath, is what I'm trying to say. You know me, I'm no good with terminology and stuff like that. I just try and tell you what I'm thinking and feeling, and yeah, this is dope. I enjoyed this. And but what I'm noticing, like, you know, I was talking about old members, Paul, etc., etc. There's a lot less with the new bassist. I've noticed, even from the beginning, there's a lot less like. It's hard to say this without shitting on anyone, and I really don't mean it this way. But say for example, in on the first album. Is that surfacing? I think so. But you'll notice in the older stuff with Paul as bassist, there was a lot of stuff that you can hear was a bass line, and he's gone off somewhere and he's wrote this like sick little like I think it's the surfacing, it's the build up to surfacing before it comes back in with the, you know. But the bass starts and it's this wicked bass line that you just know that Paul sat at home and he wrote it, right? And then he's gone, oh lads, and then, you know, Mick and Jim are and I'm not seeing that a lot with the new guy. You know what I mean? And I say the new guy because I've already seen him with the new lineup and I still forget the dude's name. I do apologise. But the new bassist, like I say, I'm not trying to take away from anyone. I'm not trying to, you know, divert from the talent that the dude has. Like I said, the same thing about Jay. There's a reason that he is in Slipknot. They trust his ability and I trust them, so I know that they're good at their job, right? But it doesn't have that sameness that Paul had. I don't know. There's just like a percentage lacking that Paul brought. You know, and it's kind of, it doesn't take away from the band, but it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? It makes me a little bit sad because it's like they were always big shoes to fill. You know what I'm saying? That's Paul Gray, like, you know, legend. So stepping in as Paul's replacement was always going to be difficult. But like, you know what I'm saying? Me being a Slipknot fan from 20 plus years ago, I'm going to be quite critical. And like I say, I don't want to shit on anyone, but that is one thing that I am noticing with Slipknot's newer stuff. Is there's a lot less of that sort of the root, you know what I mean? There's like, it's weird, it's a weird thing to explain because I have such affection, I have such love for all of the dudes in the band, all of them. So it's like hard for me to approach without sounding like I'm being a dickhead, but it's like some of the soul is missing. You know what I mean? It makes me a little emotional to talk about because it's like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with this band. Like, I literally, Paul and Joey, like, I miss them every day. I proper do. But it's something that I'm noticing is there's like just a little percentage of their heartbeat is not there. You know what I mean? And it's like I say, it doesn't take away from the music or any of that. Like, this was a banging song, but it's just like, I don't know, it's like bittersweet, you know. I'm happy to be sitting here and listening to Slipknot still. They could have all disbanded so many times before now, but they're still together and they're still making music that slaps. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be sitting here listening to them. I absolutely love the band. I hope they go on and on and on and on forever, you know. No band ever does, but some have gotten close so far. I mean, geez, there's some bands out still that I'm like, how is this band still a band? Hopefully Slipknot's one of those, you know what I mean? Because I love them, but it's like, like I say, there's like a bittersweet thing coming into Slipknot songs these days, and it's nobody's fault but my own. It's because I have this just deep rooted adoration for all of them. Like, they really did shape me as a person, this band. So it's like, when I come in and it's a bit like, ooh, what's going on here? And I do notice those little bits and bobs, like there was a sick bass line in there. You know, that's what got my brain thinking, oh, I wonder if he wrote that. I wonder if, you know, somebody else helped him. I wonder, because I don't know the guy as much as I knew Paul. I don't know what he's putting into the band as much as I knew that Paul was putting in, and Joey, and like all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to, I don't know. There's something going on in my head that's a bit of friction, and I don't want to shit on him because you know what I'm saying. He's, like I said before, Slipknot trust him. I trust Slipknot, so I know he's a good bassist. But it makes me apprehensive. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm slightly apprehensive. Yeah. So, like I say, it's this was a slapper, and I've had a proper ramble. And if you're still sitting here, I don't know how. So, thank you very much for sitting and listening to my thoughts, not just on the song, but I've literally sat here and I've gave you my thoughts on everything Slipknot from the beginning. Did I even talk much about the song? I'm not sure. It was a good song. But it there wasn't anything in it. Okay, here we go. Here's your, in a nutshell, TLDR, too long, didn't read, is, it was a very good song. I enjoyed it a lot. Corey's voice, absolutely insane. Absolutely doing bits. Those little layers and stuff at the beginning, they were so creepy. Oh, wait. Now I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, oh yeah, Corey's voice at the beginning was very creepy, very weird. I loved the way it all came in. And the chorus, he has such a way of, he's always had it. He has such a way of expressing emotion and putting across the feeling that he makes me feel so much with his voice by the way that he uses it, and by just certain things you can feel. Like, if he wants to come across like he's in pain, instantly he can do that. If he wants to come across like he's, you know, weeping behind what he's saying, he's Corey Taylor. He can do that. You know what I mean? He is a wizard. He's a wizard with his voice, and it's one of the reasons I fell in love with this band in the first place. So, you know, that's Corey, and this, for me, yet more wizardry. And you know, people talk a lot about like surely I'm not the only one that's seen the discussions and stuff online of like, why do they have a DJ? Why do they have, you know, Craig that's dropping in these samples, and it doesn't add anything to the band? But have you ever gone and actually sat and listened to all that they put in, you know? Like, all the little, like, scratches and all the mixes and stuff that Sid's doing in the background, they add so much. Even if you don't hear it, like, it's there, and it adds a lot to you. Even if it's subconscious, it's like, you would miss them. You'd miss Craig and Sid if they weren't there. You know what I mean? Like, you really would. And there was a couple of moments in this that it was super evident as to why they're in there. It adds a different energy to like a transition or a breakdown or whatever, to have like a weird noise going on, or some, you know, Sid going skits, scratching all over the place. It proper adds a lot. You know what I mean? And they used it again here, like, so beautifully, so wonderfully. And like I said as well, it was cool to see Craig, like, front and center. Just for a few frames, it was like, look, it's Craig. It's bloody Craig. Why do Americans say it like that, by the way? It's Craig, like, Cray with a G on the end. Craig, not Craig. There's no E in the whole name, so I don't understand why they say Craig. Anyway, I've spoke before about how much I enjoy language. It's just another one of those. It's a confusion to me. It's like AI is not an E sound, it's an A sound. So I never understood why there was the Craig and the Craig, you know. And also, are there Americans that say Craig? Is it dependent on where you are in the country? You know? I've no idea. Do you say Craig or do you say Craig? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. This has been like a 20-minute video. I do apologise. for keeping you for so long. But yeah, this was cool. This was a really cool sort of look into what's going on, and I'm really like, I've read stuff, you know, like there's rumors of them splitting up, and then Corey's like, no, we're not splitting up, don't be daft, like you're reading too much into the title of this, and you know what I'm saying here, there and everywhere, but like you worry still, you know what I mean? So I feel like coming into this, I feel like I'm like looking maybe at the last sort of, you know, like it's the dying song, and it's The End for Now, I think is the name of the album or whatever. That's a bit scary, you know? So the apprehension, it not only comes from me being very rusty with the whole new setup, you know, and I know that it's been a good few years, but I mean, if you've not seen my waffle video, and there are more waffle videos to come to sort of explain more about sort of the last 10, 15 years of my life and where the hell I've been, I'm still very rusty in sort of the new lineup, and you know, like I say, I've heard The Devil and I, you know, Unsainted is one of my favorite Slipknot songs. It's in my top 6, 7 for sure. But I'm still quite rusty with the new lineup, and it makes me apprehensive. And then there's all these things going on in the background. Are they going to split up? Which makes me even more anxious and apprehensive to come into this kind of reaction. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I could be witnessing the beginning of the end, and it makes me a bit sad. So I do apologise that if my brain has been all over the place and I've been talking a bit deeper about the band and a bit more about sort of them and me, my relationship with them. You know what I mean? I apologise if that's a load of crap and you don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I could only talk just what's in my brain right now, you know? I have an emotion, it makes me feel this way, I tell you guys about it. That's pretty much my channel, that's pretty much my reactions, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to wrap up, because like I say, it's been 20 some minutes, and I do apologise, but thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I really did enjoy this song, and I do want to work out some of that rust, some of that apprehension. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to listen to more sort of newer Slipknot that isn't like more like the mainstream stuff, you know. They have them songs that are like Wait and Bleed, like etc that they push forward, but then they have songs like Surfacing, Purity, etc, the ones that are like, even Scissors, that's one of my favourite songs ever. I Am Hated, another one that they don't, you know what I mean, they're like, if you're a fan, you know these songs, and if you've got the albums, you know these songs, but if you're on the outside, you don't, you know what I mean. So I want to dig more into them, into like the songs that are on anything really from, God, I don't know, where did I want to pick up sort of where I left off. The first 3 albums, I absolutely banged them, absolutely slapped them. I've not really heard much of the Grey Chapter, which is what, number 5. All Hope Is Gone, you know, those were the psychosocial days, right? You know, so I want to dig. So all that waffling aside, give me suggestions down below. Like I said, I've heard stuff like Psychosocial, like Devil and I, Unsainted. All the first 3 albums don't really suggest anything off that, because I've slapped them. But if you do have suggestions, Chapeltown Rag's another one that I've done. If you do have suggestions for Slipknot stuff that is going to sort of help me get through some of the apprehension that I've got about the whole new lineup, and it's going to open my mind a little bit. It's not like I'm trying to be closed-minded, you know what I mean? I accept them. Like I say, I fully accept them as a band. I fully trust everything that they're doing. I've not heard anything bad come out of them, ever. Like, even OG lineup to now, never once have I heard a Slipknot song and gone, oh, I don't really like that, because I love the band. The apprehension comes from just my own little, like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure, you know? So please help me. Please help me, my friends. Anyway, for the 3rd time, I'm going to shut up. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. End. What day are we on? We're on Friday. So I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. All my days are the same. And most importantly, my friends, please ignore all the waffle if you must, but please listen to this one. When you're out and about in the world, please take care, please stay safe, just be here for the next, because you're awesome and you're righteous, and we need you. The world needs you. You're appreciated, particularly by me. You know, thank you for being here, my friends. Peace and love to you.